Hello and welcome back to the Fastest Podcast, where we cover everything from the greatest overtakes to the fastest pit stops. I'm your host, Jazz. I have with me today Bianca and Pigeon. Mexican Grand Prix, Lando Norris took a 30-second lead, winning the race, and now there is a 1 point between him and Oscar Piastri, with Norris now leading the championship for the first time since we were in Saudi. 180 something days, apparently.
I think it's like 15 rounds.
I can't believe we've been suffering for that long. And we've still got 4 more to go. Anyway, so we've just had the Mexican Grand Prix. It was a good one. We were not really. We had overtakes.
Finally,
it was crazy.
It was crazy. That turn 1 was something. We will come on to that.
I mean, four wide. That's epic.
I think that could be the shot of the season. Maybe photo.
It's actually
photo finish, photo start.
It's gonna be the shot of the thumbnail. So
trendsetters.
Yeah.
Lots to talk about from that race. Ferrari, Lewis, my boy. That was one thing. Leclerc obviously got onto the podium. Very solid recovery drive from Max. We had that late virtual safety car. Again, we will come on to it in a bit more detail. Piastri, he made up a place. A couple. The last few laps fried me. I was not sure what was going on. I didn't know where I was. So, But yeah, all round, pretty exciting race. I think we'll take it.
And we had a very, very great driver of the day today.
We did.
Bearman with a P4 finish.
Whoop, whoop.
I was so desperate for that podium, but I understand why they pitted, and it's probably the right call to make. But what a drive from him. You know, his dad's there. It was so nice to see, like, the whole team just so happy for him. I think that matches Haas's best. It's so late at night. Their best finish.
It's their best result ever,
Yeah.
I think matches their best result, as from what I understand.
Yeah, I think Grosjean and Magnussen would have at some point gotten a P4. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, great thing for them. It would have been their first podium, so it's kind of a shame. But his best finish of the season as well. He's finished P6 before, so this is a nice little 2 places up for that. So excellent drive from Ollie, and even from Ocon. I know maybe at the end he kind of fell away a bit, but it was nice to see both Haas's kind of in the mix.
Still points though.
Still points, yeah. But I mean, you know, it's nice to see him getting involved with kind of the typical front runners. Granted, he was on much older tyres when that was happening,
right.
So they got past him quite quickly. But it's always nice to see Esty Bestie getting his screen time.
Yeah.
I want to start with Ferrari.
I mean, they had a great start. they had a great start.
It was.
They followed Norris all the way into turn 1.
And then
great start. Of course, it's always a little bit slippy in Mexico, so Leclerc had to take the grass, as did Verstappen. And then they kind of got into a rhythm for a couple of laps where they were, you know, Norris P1, Leclerc, Hamilton P2, 3, and then Verstappen P4. So the start was no chaos like we might have expected.
Yeah.
I'd say there was an appropriate amount of chaos at the start.
Afterwards, however, was chaos.
The FIA needs to explain to me a couple of things.
They really need to, yeah.
Because the way I see it, and maybe this isn't by the book, but if a driver has to rejoin the track, there are a few reasons why that can be. They've gone off of their own accord, or someone's pushed them off the track. So my logic, maybe it's delirium, maybe it's copium, but by my logic, Lewis would not have had to rejoin the track in the right way if my very good friend Max Verstappen hadn't put him off the track.
I can agree.
Almost dare.
Yeah.
Okay, so
No, but
first off, I'm gonna say Verstappen deserved a penalty there for the collision in turn 1. That's completely deserved. He tries to overtake, pushes Hamilton onto the grass, and then that happens. That's a penalty.
Yeah.
Then turn 4, they don't have contact. Hamilton locks up.
Yeah.
And I don't think Verstappen was passed yet at that point, but he did, of course, go past when he had to take the escape road. He doesn't do that properly, okay? But then Hamilton gets a 10-second time penalty for essentially...
What?
the thing
I really
is, like,
didn't see the point in giving him a 10-second time penalty. It was crazy.
I think 10 was way too much. I think
Yeah.
5 I could have understood if Max was also penalised. This is the thing. They both did things that were not correct.
Yeah, but
So I don't understand.
Wasn't even penalised. I was baffled by that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I feel like, so of course, I feel like the stewards are going very much by the book this season, right? They don't nuance anything. They just like, these are the rules. If it's a 10-second penalty, it's gonna be a 10-second penalty. And if I feel like sometimes, and people were raging about it as well, because I took a quick look on X and they were like, oh, when it's Hamilton, they seem to be even less nuanced about these rules. I mean, I'm not going to say anything to that, but they did go according to the rules because he led the track and gained an advantage. They argued that he gained an advantage, but honestly, I would have accepted the penalty, like you said, Jazz, as well, if Verstappen also received one. But this way, it just seems a bit unbalanced.
I mean, I think because Hamilton was in front anyways, and he regains in front. That's fine. That's how racing goes.
Bare bones of the thing is that, again, he wouldn't have been anywhere in the vicinity of the escape road if it wasn't, again, for my very, very close, very beloved friend, Max Verstappen. You can't have one without the other. Yep. We started at point A and we ended up at point 11 in my eyes. I don't understand.
That's what the FIA does. They can look at cause and effect in that. So they have to mark it as 2 separate incidents.
Yeah.
So you have turn 1, which definitely would have been a penalty for Max Verstappen if they had actually used their eyes. And then you have turn 4 where they say, okay, they're going side by side. Lewis locks up. He then has to take the escape road. He doesn't use the correct way of escape road. And he rejoins in front of Verstappen. That's what they see. They don't see turn 1 and then that causes turn 4. They don't see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can all agree that the penalty was not the right way to do. I think it was just racing.
Again, I would have accepted the penalty.
I don't think Max complained at all that Lewis rejoined.
I mean, yeah. He didn't.
I don't think Lewis was best pleased.
I don't think he was. I'm not saying he was, but I'm saying he rejoined in front, and I think that's the right place for him to rejoin in that situation.
Yep.
I don't think Max has earned that place yet.
No, exactly. And again, like I will take that penalty for Lewis
if Max had one.
If Max was also penalised, because I don't think that you can in that scenario have one without the other.
No, the other.
But I think we're all kind of on the same page about that one.
Yeah, we're just about on the same page on that one. Radio was pretty busy.
The radio was busy, and I do want to talk about everyone's favourite diva, George Russell, in a little bit more detail. But first, I do, because while we're on the topic of Ferrari, do want to talk a little about Leclerc. He drove a pretty solid race. I mean, he clinched that P2 the P2 got clinched for him. There are different ways of looking at that.
He drove amazing for the entire race. He had good pace. It's just the virtual safety car. Yeah, a case of if.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the safety car on its merits, but Leclerc drove an amazing race, and as far as I'm concerned, he deserved the P2.
He did. I think he admitted under the podium, like, yeah, got a bit lucky there. Like, I think he knew that Max was coming to get him at a rate of knots. So I think he's accepting that he did get a bit lucky towards the end
as well.
Yeah,
a little bit of luck every now and then. You have to accept it.
Yeah. I mean, it was coming to him, right? Because the offset of like the difference in the tire strategy as well between him and Max Verstappen. I knew Max was coming because that last stint was honestly impressive. So I have to give Max his flowers on softs for that amount of laps and still be able to bring the charge to Charles. I don't know how he managed.
I mean, that tire was just so dominant over the medium.
Yeah.
So it was just very impressive to watch that gap come down. It's like, I think we were pretty much focused on Bearman, Piastri, Russell at that stage in the race.
Mm-hmm.
So every now and then I was just sort of looking over at the timesheets. 5 seconds closer. Like he was closing very impressively. And again, like Red Bull really did make a good call. They did something different with their strategy compared to the other front runners today. And like they were saying on the broadcast, you can do something different, but you've still got to have a driver that can pull off that different strategy. And that's kind of what they have with Max Verstappen. And that's something that's always worked very, very well for Max Verstappen. We're supposed to be talking about Ferrari, and we're just like, well, Max Verstappen, wow.
On that note, I do want to say, do we think that the 2-stop was faster than the 1-stop? Because I don't think it was. I do like the fact that they tried, and that so many drivers did go on to a second set of softs, but I don't think it was faster. Because the drop-off wasn't big enough, I think.
I think, that kind of trigger for the second rounds that we saw with like Antonelli, Bearman, I was thinking ambitious, interesting, makes things a bit spicy for us at home. I did have my concerns with it, and to be honest, I didn't think that we were going to see much of the 2-stop, to be honest.
No.
But I think that the problem that they had was the temperature and the track conditions were just so different. So it was probably maybe better to lose track position than have your tires blow up, as a general rule of life.
It's an option. It's not a good one, but
yeah. So I think it does make sense as to why they did end up going for the 2-stop, because we're kind of looking at the thing and it's like, wow, we've got like 30 laps actually to keep going. Maybe, just maybe. Yeah. They were kind of in uncharted territory there with the weather and the temperature and blah, blah, blah. So
I think
it made sense.
That one of the top 10 runners went for a double that triggered the entire event chain. Because usually we will see like one driver in P15, like they'll try, they'll see it, they'll try and whatnot. But since it was, I think, who went first? I think it was Antonelli and
Antonelli,
Piastri, right?
Bearman, Piastri.
Yeah. I think because
and then George came in.
Everyone else had to respond to them because they don't want to get overtaken in such a silly way.
Yeah, I mean,
it was also a silly way to lose the P5 to Piastri in the pits.
That was a slightly tough watch.
Yeah.
But kind of saw it coming as soon as he dove into the pits. At first I was like, Oscar, are you lost? Like, what are you doing here? Like, but it paid off really well for them. As soon as my brain caught up, I was like, yeah, okay, fair enough. It's kind of what you have to do at this stage. I think we can't really judge him the same way because he was just in clean air and on his own for the whole race. But the 1-stop really worked for Lando. So it's just always difficult to judge the tyres and the race pace when you've got someone who is just in clean air. I mean, obviously he would have hit traffic towards the end of the race, lapping, but we saw it play out different ways. I think the 2-stop was kind of essential for some of them, especially those that had to respond, but I think either was fair. It was a fair choice between both strategies. I just didn't think we were going to see 2 stops, so I was quite happy.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to rank this in the 2025 season races, it's one of the better ones. We didn't expect it, of course, because Mexico has been kind of dull the past couple of years. But I think the main difference is the drag. We have so much drag nowadays, and since the air is thinner, you can actually use some of that car performance instead of just being stuck near the air.
Yeah, I mean, I was very pleasantly surprised. I never really look forward to the actual race in Mexico. I always love the Mexican Grand Prix because it's just good vibes.
Up until turn 1, and then you can basically just turn it off because...
Yeah, and then it's just catching up on all that sleep I missed. But today was great. It was I was engaged the whole way through the race. And I think the consensus has been the same for most fans. So yeah, I was really, really glad to see it. And I think with next year's cars as well, it'll be even better. So we say that everywhere, but still.
It's the cars, okay? The cars are going to improve, hopefully, and that'll translate onto every single track we'll see. I must say, the one thing I don't like about Mexico is the fact that you can't overtake in the arena.
Yeah.
That's one of those things, like, if you could actually overtake in the arena, then it would be a perfect place to be. But you can't, you just have to follow and wait for the main straight. It's such a shame, it's such a wasted opportunity to not be able to overtake there.
Such an iconic feature. Yeah. And it's like, it kind of almost feels wasted in that regard. But I suppose all tracks do have, well, not all, but some tracks do have elements like that. It is a shame. I was actually thinking the exact same thing during the race.
I must say,
when Leclerc and Verstappen were going through at the end, I was like...
But when I was at Zandvoort, I was just like behind the arena. And because you're coming off a DRS straight into that arena, you can overtake there. We saw Leclerc with overtake over the month going through the gravel there, like really on the edge. Those overtakes, they are really special in a kind of way because you do it in such a way. If Mexico had that as well, that would be amazing. But it's just a layout that really doesn't really allow for it, which is a shame.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a weird track because it's got these really technical elements to it, but then it's got these clearly designated overtaking zones. So it's kind of like, what?
It doesn't really have a rhythm, to be fair. The first sector is just straights, and then the second one is really technical with a lot of 90-degree corners, and then you have that 6 to 10, which is not really S's, but it's also not really chicanes. And every driver is struggling there because it's just awkward. Yeah, it's you steer and then you have to wait for half a second and then you have to steer again and then you have to straighten out and then it's just really weird. They have a DRS straight again, which you can't use because it's way too short, and then you go into the final sector, which is fun because you go through the arena, but still you can only really line up for the main straight.
Yeah.
So that's a shame.
Even when Max was kind of like battling Leclerc for that second position, I was like, oh, he's gonna overtake. Wait, no, he can't. He's gonna overtake. Wait, no, he can't. You know, it was always like this constant, like, oh wait, you can't overtake.
I quite enjoyed like those elements when it was the Mercedes Bearman Piastri situation, because I was really locked in on watching them follow each other. So I was like, just waiting for something to happen. And I was like, you can't do it now, so when are you going to do it? I was getting quite into that element of it. Sometimes when you're watching a battle and you know that the overtake is going to happen at some point, I enjoy watching the start-stop because I'm like, it's like cat and mouse.
Yeah.
It happened a lot with, well, I was watching Piastri today. I was like, oh, is he going to do it? Is he not?
Yeah.
Uh,
I think
Piastri was fun to
Piastri-
watch today.
Yeah, but he really struggled to overtake the Mercedes cars. I think it's because Mercedes had a higher acceleration out of the corners. If you
Yeah,
look
they
at
were.
the second straight. You saw Russell just pull a gap to Piastri every time they came out of turn 3, and that's kind of
Yeah.
what saved them, I think. Russell on the radio, however, was writing a poem or.
it was a long radio too. I was like, okay, when is it ending? But it just kept like popping up almost off the screen. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
I asked during the race,
Okay.
could we get a transcript of that? Because that was that was pure comedy, man.
A lot of bleeped words also in there.
Yeah. So for everyone who might not be knowing what we're talking about, we had Russell and Antonelli back to back with Piastri charging behind and Bearman in front of them.
That's not how George put it. But...
No, but I'm paraphrasing here. I'll get to the good stuff. Don't
It's
worry.
a lot of paraphrasing.
Bearman was in P3, and Russell was behind Antonelli. So he asked the team nicely the first time, could I pass because I have more pace? Team said, well, if you have more pace, you're free to race. You can
Go
pass
on then.
if you want. Then he said, well, could you also manage your brake discs, please? Because we want to have brakes until the end of the race, because we need those to stop the car. And then they asked him again about managing those brake issues, those brakes. And Russell went full Brit, I believe, screaming at his engineer, saying, mate, I can't because we have Piastri on my ass, and we can't really do anything. And I just want to get past Antonelli because, well, I have more pace.
We have a shot at the podium.
It was the podium bit really just took me out.
Yeah, and the funny thing is then, because they did employ team orders, he didn't get past Bearman. Antonelli got overtaken by Piastri in the pits, but then instead of gaining one place, they both lost one place. And then he had to let Antonelli by again, because that's the deal they made.
I mean, I will say, Mercedes either should have made that call
Earlier.
when he first asked or not at all, because they left it too long. And I would honestly blame the internal discussion for that loss for them, because they left it too long. He was right. He did have Piastri there.
Close. Very close.
Close.
Yeah.
Very close. So of course he wasn't going to be able to cool down his overheating tyres while he was defending for his life against a much quicker car. Now, it's not often I defend George Russell, but I'll give him this one.
It's a
I
first
will
for
give
me
him this
too.
one. Yeah. But he always knows how to give us something.
Yeah.
I love when he starts ranting on the radio. There is no other driver on the grid does it the way he does it. Like, okay, we watch Max get a little bit snappy, and
he doesn't have the British flair though.
No.
Yeah. He has something that we just don't really see from anyone else. I remember his first season in Mercedes. I want to say Zandvoort, but I could be very, very wrong about that. But he was in a bit of a tussle with Verstappen. Was it Zandvoort? Yeah.
I think it was Zandvoort.
And he
called for pit.
He just started quoting the rule book. He just started like, right, section 1, page what, and I was like,
I expect nothing less of that man.
You go, my boy. Crack on. I love it.
Even though it didn't work out, I will take Mercedes screaming over the radio over papaya rules any day. Yeah,
because Mercedes are funny about it. Like George's race engineer. No, thank you. Like, I was dying.
After that, he was like, understood.
He was like, thumbs up, going for a cup of tea. Like, they were just not. It's just beautiful from both sides. What a great interaction that we were gifted today. So there's not really much to say about the Mercedes team order situation. It was the right call. They just made it too late. I'm glad that they then swapped them back at the end because, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, Antonelli was kind of there on merit anyway. He'd driven the better race up until that point, so it was fair that
Great
they got the
defending from
point,
him as
the
well.
place back. Yes, very, very strong against Piastri. It was really enjoyable to watch that whole like Bearman to Piastri Mercedes sandwich thing happening. That was really quality driving, I think, from all of them. You know, even with Russell and Piastri, you know, Russell knew when to give up the ghost and to just not, you know, cause a pile up. So it was just good racecraft. It was enjoyable.
Yeah. I think today it was also like a lot of like drivers who had a lot to lose and some that had a lot to gain with the championship thing. So from that perspective also, you know, it becomes like even more enthralling to watch as well, because clearly, you know, from the lights out, I knew this was going to be a mess. I knew Verstappen was coming, and I knew Piastri was also going to try and make a charge, because they're fighting, and they didn't start in the optimal position. Um, so I knew it was going to be a good race, honestly.
Yeah, usually it'll be a good race. I do think we're as good as the race was. Point still stands. If in 2025 you start out of position, the only real way you can gain them is by having a good start,
Yeah.
and then hoping for either a slight tire advantage or something crazy to happen. Because that's what we saw with Bearman. Had an amazing start up to P6 after turn 1. And then he profited from that little tussle between Verstappen, Hamilton, and Russell, overtaking Verstappen in turn 6, I believe. So that was really good driving, really profiteering from that kind of chaos in front of you.
Yeah.
And then just
And
driving the race, and that was
he
the
didn't-
most
yeah.
impressive part of it. He was on merit with all of those drivers.
He didn't put a foot wrong today.
I mean, we've seen people with more experience crack under pressure, and that was pressure. So I really got to hand it to him. That was very impressive. It's just enjoyable to watch. We've made no secret, like all of us, how much we've really enjoyed the rookies this year, watching them develop and perform, and just Bearman at times has kind of gone under the radar between like Bortoletto and Hadjar. And I think today is just a reminder, like, you know, when he took over for Leclerc last season, insane performance. And now he's got his own seat in his own team.
Took over for Leclerc, huh?
Sainz.
It's up for Sainz in Saudi. Sorry.
There was another one, no?
Yeah, Magnussen in Baku and then Magnussen again in Brazil. Sorry, my brain wasn't braining, sorry.
No, I'm thinking he did an FP1 for Leclerc. So you're right. It was Sainz and his appendix that saw him in Saudi. But when he was in the Ferrari seat,
he showed
what he can do. And now it's nice to be able to see him cementing that in his own team, his own seat, on merit completely, like, and keeping up with a lot more seasoned drivers holding on.
Yeah.
I was believing the podium. I felt it in my soul.
For a little bit, me too. But then I saw how good Max was doing on those softs. Also proving that those mediums just really weren't working for anyone. I think the fact that he took those mediums early and then switched onto the softs was key to him getting that podium. If he had started on the softs and switched onto the mediums, I think he wouldn't have gotten close.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying at the beginning. You know, the Red Bull love to do something different when they're a bit out of position, and they really just showed again today why they're so good at that and why they have all the right people in place to pull stuff like that off. So it was very, very impressive from.
Yeah, I do think they did a disservice to Yuki though. They pulled him in way too late. Yeah. Because he was P4 and then P5 and then P6 and then 7 and then P8. and then they pulled him in, and then it was P15, and I think he got away with P11 in the end.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame because he was quite instrumental at the beginning of the race. You know, it was kind of a how long can he hold up Piastri for? Granted, it wasn't very long, but God loves a trier.
It's still Piastri at McLaren. You can't ask for miracles in there.
I was asking, but no, I mean, they did leave him out too long. But they also had a very, very nice little tidy recovery with Max. Red Bull things.
Yeah.
It's just Red Bull things, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say one thing you can not fault Red Bull for is their strategy. They will ace it every time. But like you said, with Tsunoda, I can't agree that they,
If they
did it
pulled
a
him
good
like
job.
3 or 4
But
laps earlier, I think he could have gotten
yeah,
points.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Verstappen it worked out because I had no faith in how he started like on mediums in the race. I was like, how is this gonna work out? And then eventually, as the race kind of like progressed, I was like, oh.
Well, for me, it was more because turn 1 is so crucial in Mexico. If you have a bad start, you can lose 3 places rather than gain 1. And he did gain 1, of course, going onto the grass and then taking his place in P4, which also Russell was on the radio saying that he went off and then gained an advantage. I disagree there because he was already way past. He was in that 4 wide, so he was definitely past Russell in that one.
Yeah, he did not owe Russell a place at that stage.
He did nearly crash though, so.
You win some, you lose some. Honestly, I mean, Max had me on a bit of a roller coaster today because at first I was like, oh, cool, they're doing something different, and then I was like, oh, he's not getting past Bearman, and then I was like, oh, he's gonna get Leclerc, might get Lando. I was like, ooh. It was a stressful time.
I think Lando was shaking in his car.
Yeah, Lando.
Oh no, Max is 32 seconds off. How am I gonna manage this with 2 laps to go?
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Let's talk about Lando. Because I was confident. I was absolutely confident that, yeah, he'll probably win the race, but there is no way he's leading into turn 1. He did it!
Technically, he wasn't leading in turn 3.
Yeah, well, that was because Leclerc. Well, do you know what? No.
Cut the grass. I was making a joke anyways. Come on.
I didn't say he wouldn't be leading into turn 3. I just said turn 1.
Yeah, no,
so
he had a great start, and he took the inside like a seasoned driver there. That's the place where you want to be. Laid on the brakes and just did his job, and then he just disappeared into the distance.
I think he probably was helped out slightly. He was probably helped out slightly by the chaos happening behind him, but I still think he would have kept his nose clean and got out of that anyway. And that kind of had nothing to do with him at that stage. So, yeah, very, very, very impressive win from him today. As we said at the beginning of the podcast, this does mean now that he leads the championship by 1 point.
1.
I think I've seen this film before.
Let's hope it doesn't have the same ending.
Oh.
I'm not ready for that.
I don't know anything anymore. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to think.
What we do know is 4 races to go. 2 sprints, I believe.
Yeah.
We have some great tracks coming up. Brazil next, I believe.
Yes.
Then, I don't really like Las Vegas and Qatar, but some people. But you can overtake there, so it could be fun. And then Abu Dhabi, of course, final race. It's getting close. Getting close. At this point, he just needs to beat Piastri. That's all he needs to do.
He needs his redemption from Brazil last year. So
let's
I will be lighting some candles. I will be lighting some candles. I will be at one with nature over the next 2 weeks. Say some prayers, do a little dance, whatever it takes, really. No, I just
Driving the FIA. No.
I would never do that.
No.
Never do something like that. I don't have enough money. I like it. It feels it was feeling too comfortable. It was getting a bit too Piastri's gonna run with it.
Right.
He has not run away with it, it seems. But he's still good. And that's what I like, because it could really go either way now. And you've got Max. On Sky, they are calling him T-Max, T-Rex.
Oh.
It's the Jurassic Park meme, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
he didn't gain too much. Of course, he gained on Piastri. He's 37 points.
30 years, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say one mistake, and we could be looking at a very different title fight from any driver at this point. Any of the three make a mistake, and that's gonna be massive for the title.
Yeah.
Because
it's gonna be
close.
Yeah. It's gonna have to be flawless execution from everyone at this point. And also like if there's a DNF for one of them.
Lando's had his DNF. He's had his DNF. I'm not. He's had his DNFs.
Yeah. You'll light your candles.
I'll be right back, guys. No, the thing is, this is what we wanted. We wanted it to be close between McLaren. Maybe not this close for me personally, but I'll take it. I just hope it. I hope we see all of them really, really just lock in. I mean, Max and Lando are locked in. Oscar, I think, is still somewhere in Baku. There's a part of him still there. Bless him. Yeah. But the thing is, what was the thing? There was a thing. I can't remember the thing. We'll come back to the thing.
Let's go to button for the rest of the podcast now.
I can bounce back from this. The thing is, a different thing. It's just.
It's late, okay? It's late.
It's really late. I didn't sleep yesterday. You're watching my psychiatric break in real time.
So I also because I'm also in a little bit of a trance at the moment, because I forgot what I was going to say too. But but honestly, I think talking about the championship, honestly, coming into the season, looking at the performance of the McLaren, I really thought it was going to be and seeing how they progressed throughout the season and their performance, I was like, it's going to be, a Piastri and Lando battle. And then at some point, Verstappen kind of ruled themselves out as well.
I think that was Austria.
Yeah. And then they did mention this. No driver has ever come back from a 69 points deficit. And so the fact that he's kind of doing it now, because I was like, it's Max Verstappen. You can never really rule him out if he's got the car under him. And the fact that he's kind of doing it now, granted, is going to take a lot of luck, a lot of work, things to go his way, but he just kind of made the season more entertaining. You can say what you want, but it was.
I think if anything is gonna really decide it, let's say Verstappen gets back onto his winning horse, wins 2 or 3 of the final races. It's going to matter whether Norris and Piastri, where they finish. If they are 2 and 3, or 3 and 2, or 3 and 4, and that's gonna matter. Every point is gonna, because the big gap is between 1 and 2, but then it's gonna count down as well. So even if they lose a race, they still need to be on their best because you are fighting for a championship, and it's going to be really tight.
Yeah.
It's still impressive anyway, the way that he's brought the gap down.
Yeah, I think.
And where he will probably finish in relation to McLaren will definitely be impressive from where he kind of was ruling himself out. I think Max will do some of his Max stuff, and he will provide, he will provide some form of entertainment for us towards the end of the season. I remember the thing. Lando said in his cool down lap on the radio just now, he said, sounded very calm, very collected. We got to do more of this. And I think that is so revealing of his kind of head state, like the way he's thinking, because he seemed very different kind of since Baku. I think Baku was just bad for everyone involved at McLaren. They did not do what they needed to with Piastri, and Lando did not capitalise whatsoever. Kind of what he was saying yesterday, Pigeon, about Piastri. That's not where you're supposed to be in that car. So that was just bad form all around. Then since then, where Piastri's kind of crumbled a little bit, Lando's like locked in. So it's nice to hear that on the radio, that motivation from his side of the garage, that kind of drive that we've not really been able to see from him loads, just purely because of where he's been finishing races.
Yeah.
So it's promising, but genuinely, all it takes is someone puts their wheel in the wrong place.
Yeah, I do think, because we still have 4 races to go, obviously. I think they are going to take new engines. I don't think there will be penalties for them yet. But all of them only have used 4 internal combustion engines so far. So they could all take new engines coming into Brazil. Could be fun. We don't know what the weather is going to be like there.
Goodness gracious me.
Yeah. But this is going to be a really interesting fight. Even if Verstappen DNFs next race, I wouldn't care, because this title fight between the McLarens is getting interesting, and I just hope McLaren will take their hands off it for now. Just let them figure out race themselves. Don't do team orders. Don't do any of it. You can't prioritize the driver anymore because the gap is closed. The gap is done. Nothing. Just let them race. If something happens, that's racing. If they crash, that's just racing. If they break a wing, doesn't matter anymore. Just let them race. Just let them go for it.
It's interesting the way that the McLaren situation has played out in front of the media. And, certain people have said certain things and made certain comments and blah, blah, blah. And he's selfish and he's not selfish. And if my mum had, and it's just various things have been said. I do wonder if Oscar Piastri is wishing he pushed for that championship leading prioritization at this stage. I wonder what he will be thinking right about now, because it's just not a comfortable place to be. Some people have also said that maybe when Lando gets in front of him, or if Lando got in front of him, which he now has, maybe he will thrive being the hunter instead of the hunted. So things could, mentality is such an important thing for these guys. And we saw Lando just completely hook everything up. He was so clearly in the zone all weekend, and you could see that connect to the car and just do what he needs to do. So maybe we could see Oscar get a bit of that mojo back through that regard, because even I forget which race, but post summer break, I think Lando said, "I'm on the back foot. I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna let."
I think it was Zandvoort.
Yeah, I'm on the back foot.
Then he had to DNF.
then he had the DNF. Or maybe it was because of the DNF. I can't remember. But he basically said, look, I'm just going to let the pressure be off me. I'm behind.
Oh, yeah.
So we could now see Lando just crumble into a million pieces. We could see him absolutely excel. Mentality is such a key factor here. So
yeah, and I think this is a season. It's always the case with in Formula One that the driver needs to kind of like gel with the car. But I feel like this season, even more than others, like if they're not feeling the car below them, is they're just not gonna perform as well. And I'm kind of like wondering, because at some point as well, I remember Lando said the car is different from the car he was driving last year, and then he just wasn't kind of like feeling it on all the tracks. It just feels different. And then I wonder, what if that's also maybe the case? Is it like, now a reverse in positions like that? Now Piastri might not be feeling the car. Is it the mentality, like you said? I don't know. There could be.
Yeah, like
it's
I
interesting.
said yesterday, I think it could have been one of those upgrades that they might have got down to, but it could also just be it's their first time fighting a world championship, and they are their own biggest rivals, both in teammate being and yourself. You have to, be the right headspace.
Yeah.
You have to do it on track, and I feel like Norris really gained from that this week. He dominated. He was quickest everywhere. Got the points while Piastri was playing in P6 or P5 at the end. Yeah, I think it was P5. So he just did his job, and he gained a whole lot of points. Verstappen was on damage limitation, I think. P3 was the best he could do this today. Yeah, I mean, Mexico is an outlier in that aspect as well. It's a completely different situation to any other track on the calendar. But he did really just grab the chance while he had it, and now he's leading the championship. So
it's an interesting one because it was
it's a pretty big confidence boost as well.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, it was kind of, we were saying yesterday, like it kind of, he had kind of had everything stacked against him. It's like the one place that you don't really want to be on pole. It's the one place where this and it's and the fans don't really like him. And there was all these like little factors.
They let him know that.
They let him know that. I didn't even want to touch on it, but
yeah, I'm just gonna quickly touch on it.
We should touch on it.
I don't love to hear it.
I hate it.
They are just doing their job, and whether you like a driver or not, you have to applaud their performances in any way. If someone is purposely driving another driver off track, boo him into the ground. That's fine, but just because they're doing well,
it doesn't make sense.
Either keep your mouth shut or just celebrate them, but don't start booing them.
And it's okay. Not everyone has to be like your favorite driver, right? I have some drivers that might not be my favorite, but then when I look at them, I'm not necessarily kind of like booing them. Like when I was in Zandvoort, for instance, I heard some boos as well for certain drivers. But it's at the end, it comes down to kind of like respect as well, having respect for what they do, because they're 20 of the best drivers on the grid, but you get what I'm saying. They got to Formula One.
I just read your mind.
I had a sentence for that, but we're not going to say
that. I corrected myself really quickly.
No, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like it's different to a lot of sports because the crowd numbers for one thing, but also it's not like a football match, where you've got two sides and they're just kind of ragging on each other and it's not that. The guy finished 30 seconds ahead of everyone. I think that's impressive when anyone does it.
Deserves,
even
for sure.
if it's Max or if it's Lewis or it's whoever. He looked so tamped down. Like he looked like he was happy, but not as happy as he should have been. And that's really sad. Maybe he was just like chilled out because, got the job done, whatever. But like, I just don't like to see it. I didn't like to see it when it was Max or Lewis. I don't like to see it now. I don't like to see it for any driver. Again, unless they deserve it. So I just think in this...
That's the long and short of it.
Yeah. In this scenario, I don't think he deserved it. And, it's one guy out of 20 guys. It's not a football match. It's not 1v1 situation. So, yeah, I don't know. But
I mean, you can have your opinions, but you gotta respect the drive as well.
Yeah. But the point we were trying to make, he had it kind of not. I mean, it's champagne problems. Oh no, I'm on pole position. But still, of all the places to be on pole position, it's one of those things. And he still pulled it off.
Yeah,
he still pulled it off.
He did.
So
we never said it was impossible to keep P1 into turn 1. We just said it was one of the worst places to take pole because it's so hard to keep it in P1, and he did. So
I think I was preparing myself for the worst. I was like, we can't do it.
Remember, going into the weekend, I told you, best case scenario, Lando Norris leads the World Championship coming out of it.
Now I don't have to come and attack you, so a win is a win.
Wow.
We did miss one
Cut
thing.
that bit out.
We did miss one thing, that's become Fastest Podcast tradition.
I don't want to!
I forgot about it.
I had to remind you, sorry. Last week, all three of us had to do shoeies because Max won with Leclerc on the podium and Ferrari podium was double. This week we have Norris win and a Ferrari podium, which means both Jasmine and Bianca will have to do a shoey.
This is disgusting. I cannot believe I'm about to do this. This is
so upset.
Listen, this is a running shoe too.
Oh no.
Oh my. Not looking forward to
it. I've had to do the most shoeies up until now, okay?
This is
Guys,
crazy.
this isn't okay. This is like my old work shoe. I don't have any other shoes.
Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one.
Oh my god, no.
Dust it off. It's gonna be nicely seasoned. Enjoy it. Oh, mine's dripping. Of course. Why did I do this with a running shoe? That doesn't make sense. It has holes in it.
It's let it breathe, so you don't have
Exactly. So why did I choose this one?
I don't know.
Well, it's the safest one because the other ones I'm actually going to use. So Okay. How do we do this? Can I go first?
Whatever you want.
Oh my god, this isn't
Oh
right.
my, I'm shaking. I am shaking. No,
This ain't right.
It's not. I'm low-key OCD. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go now.
Look into this shoe.
I'm gonna go now. Wait. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't taste like anything. I was expecting it to taste like
there's something swimming around in here.
Why do you keep a fish in your shoe?
Okay.
Wow.
Cheers.
Okay. Cheers. Freaking hell. Oh. You did it though. I mean, I have to say it's not.
This was not a nice clean shoe like the last one.
Yeah.
I have to say mine are surprisingly clean for a running shoe. Nice.
Yeah, I think we covered everything from Mexico Grand Prix weekend.
Kill the stream.
If you have any comments on the podcast or what was or wasn't right this week, put them in below. Will be back, Wednesday, I believe, with off-week podcast. So I will probably be asking you guys what you want to hear about. And then, of course, Saturday or Sunday we'll have a trivia night with Dogwa asking us all about Qatar, probably. Yeah. So
No, in the meantime, keep an eye on the website. TikTok. We want to hear from you guys on TikTok. Please do follow us if you're on TikTok. Instagram. We're now on Facebook. We are now on Facebook. And as always, we are very, very, very much present on X. So we would always appreciate.
Or Twitter, as normal people say.
Yeah, I was trying to be professional.
I know.
Because, clearly I'm so
X?
professional today. We'll be back next week. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the Mexican Grand Prix. Nice couple of restful weeks now. Week?
Yeah,
1 week.
I think
We'll
have
be
a week
back
off.
soon. We have 1
We'll
week
be
off.
back soon.
Definitely 1 week off, yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.